Hey everyone, Steven here, and today I'm reviewing the Z12-4 portable monitor from QQH, which the last monitor I reviewed from QQH was a dual portable monitor, so I'm curious to see how this one performs. To start though, let's jump right into the specs. The Z12-4 is a 15.6-inch IPS LCD portable monitor with a matte coating on this, and then it has a 4K resolution running at 60 Hz for the refresh rate. This is going to come in at 1.5 pounds and is 0.3 inches thick with an aluminum chassis. This has a contrast ratio of 1200:1, a typical brightness of 350 to 360 nits, a peak brightness of 400 nits, and covers 100% of the sRGB color gamut. For inputs, this has two USB Type-C ports, which can be used both for power delivery or data. This has a mini HDMI port, and something I don't see too often on a portable monitor, a headphone jack. All of the ports are on the right hand side of the monitor along with the menu button, which are all separate and not on a small flick style button, which I do appreciate. This also has two 1-watt speakers, which I'll do a sound test for in a little bit. Inside of the box you will get the monitor, magnetic smart cover, which can be used as a stand, a USB-C to C cable, a mini HDMI to HDMI cable, a USB-C to USB-A cable for the power adapter, and the user manual. And last, this is compatible with a 75 by 75 millimeter VESA pattern if you wanted to mount this. Next, I want to showcase some of the things that you will find in the in-panel menu, starting here with the picture tab. Here you're going to find brightness, contrast, black level, and sharpness. These will be grayed out like it looks right now if you do have HDR enabled. After this, you have the image tab. Here you will find your picture presets, dynamic contrast ratio, and then the aspect control. Dynamic contrast ratio is only available in the standard preset. All of these are grayed out right now because, again, I have HDR enabled. And then for the aspect ratio, you're going to have wide or a 4:3. For the picture presets though, you have standard, game, movie, text, FPS, and RTS. After this, you're going to have the color tab. Here you will find color temperature and then the adjustments to the RGB values that you can make. And for the color temperature options, you have user, cool, and warm. And then that's going to be it. The only one that you can actually adjust the RGB values though is going to be with the user mode. After this, you have the OSD settings. Here you will find language, the timer, and transparency. After this, you're going to find reset, mute, and volume. By default, the volume on this is set to 50%. And then last here we have miscellaneous. Here you're going to find the signal source. You can choose between the Type-C or the micro or mini HDMI. And then you have low blue light and then the HDR mode. So this is either off or on auto. Next, let's do the sound test for the speakers. So now that I've covered the specs and panel menu, let's get into what I like about this portable monitor, starting with the picture quality, which is really good. This being 4K at the 15.6 inches, it has a pixel density of 282 pixels per inch. So the image quality on this is very crisp, which is awesome. This also means that text looks good. So for anybody that is doing a lot of typing or working in text-based applications, you're not going to have any issues here. Pair that with the vibrancy of the panel, and you're just going to have a really nice overall image. And that's for both SDR and HDR. Specifically on consoles, the HDR with this looks really, really good. Now, although this is only 60 hertz, it does feel very smooth, but that might not be enough for some gamers who are going to want a much higher refresh rate if they're considering getting a portable monitor. But using this on consoles, the gameplay was always smooth. You do have some more limitations beyond just the 60 hertz cap rate though, like no variable refresh rate or auto low latency mode. Now, I never noticed any screen tearing or input lag on this monitor even without those settings, so I still think this is going to be a good option for console gamers as long as you're okay with the 60 hertz refresh rate cap, and you're most likely going to be using this with other things like consuming content or a secondary PC monitor and just not specifically console gaming. Which, speaking of using this as a secondary monitor, I think that's going to be one of the big use cases. And for me, this has always been a big draw towards portable monitors because it gives me more screen real estate on my PC to do various things, from writing scripts for videos where I can have the product info on one screen while I write on the other. I can use this to have that script pulled up when I'm recording in Premiere Pro, like for this video. I can use it as a chat monitor when I'm streaming, or for watching game tutorials while I'm playing the game at the same time. This also has the VESA pattern on the back, which is a nice touch because not all portable monitors have that, which this is going to allow you to mount this to a monitor arm if you don't want to use this just with the magnetic stand slash cover. And here you're going to have a more permanent position if you want to. Beyond just using this with a PC or a console, you could use this with your phone or tablet to have a larger screen for consuming content, or for working if you use a portable keyboard with one of those devices. And although this doesn't have a built-in battery and it's not a touchscreen, it does have one other cool feature that maybe the other portable monitors I've reviewed had the ability to do and I just didn't notice, but maybe not, and that's the ability to use a device with this, but it will power the portable monitor. An example here would be the laptop or the handhelds that I use. They actually have enough power output that they will power this. There is no need for plugging this into an outlet. The device itself will keep this powered on. So although it doesn't have a built-in battery, you can still in certain instances use the device to keep this powered on, which is really, really cool. That means there's going to be less cables around. So if you're in a tighter situation, like if you're on an airplane and you want to use your laptop with this or handheld, completely doable. You do not need to have this plugged in. I really like that. Downside is going to be it's obviously going to drain the battery of that device quicker, but you still have that option here. I think that's really cool. Now, in terms of the power that you do need here, the default startup power is 8 watts, so it will have that minimum. And then if you had this at 100% brightness, it will need 10 watts to run that, and you're not going to get any audio output if it's just doing the 10 watts. So here I'm using this with the Legion Go. It powered this completely fine. I used it with my MacBook Pro, but when it came to my iPhone 15 Pro Max, that doesn't have enough power output to actually completely sustain having this turned on. So what you'll see is it still attempts to, so it flickers every now and then, but again, it will not actually be able to power this so you can use it with your phone. Now, something you might consider with this, though, is getting a power bank that does have a decent amount of output to it, and most do, so you could actually have this run off of a power bank and then connect it to your phone. And so you can tuck that power bank in between this and then the magnetic stand, so you won't actually see it's kind of hidden. And again, you can use that with the device, and it works really seamlessly. And so I would say that's one of my favorite features of this, outside of the really good picture quality, is the ability to do that. And then you have the dual functioning USB-C inputs. I like the fact that they do have that dual function, so you're not stuck to, hey, you have to make sure power delivery is to this port. You can interchange those and not worry about it. And the last thing here is going to be the aluminum shell, which feels very premium. This is decently thin, but there is a trade-out with that I'll talk about here in a second. But overall build quality of this is really, really good. Shifting over now to the negatives, though, I'm happy to report that I didn't find any with this product. I didn't find anything that was just outright bad and clearly something that should be improved or just wasn't good with this product. So I don't have any negatives here. I do have a couple gray area things, which are things you may or may not care about. Starting first with the mini HDMI, which is one of the reasons that this is so thin, but for those that may use it often, you will need to make sure that you have that cable around, because you can't just grab a regular HDMI cable and use it with this. So it's a bit of a trade out here, but as long as you keep that mini HDMI handy, you should be okay. And last for the gray area things is going to be the magnetic case / stand, which functions just fine. But this is going to be the same one that you find on a lot of other portable monitors. It doesn't quite clip to the monitor. It just is held in place by the magnets, so it potentially can get knocked off. I don't know an instance where you should be hitting this so hard it flies out of the case, but in the rare instance where that may actually happen, this isn't clipped on, like I said, so it may just shoot out, and it's not protecting those edges either. It is meant to be put inside of a backpack or laptop bag and not just carried around all the time and just kind of tossed here and there. There's a little bit more caution you need to use with this. It still protects it, especially the screen, but this isn't going to offer the same protection that you would find with like a hard shell case that you might get for a tablet. And so that's going to be it for the gray area things. I want to sneak in two more things I like about this though. The first one is the menu button layout. I mentioned this earlier, but I just want to say it one more time. I like the fact that they have the multi-button layout. It's not like the flick style version that you find on a lot of other portable monitors. I just really don't like that one. It's very hard to navigate. You constantly are accidentally going back in the menu or turning things on or off that you're not wanting to do. I also like the fact with this though that they added in the auxiliary port. So you have that audio jack with this. Very rare to see on these, but for those that do like to plug in like over-ear headphones, you have that option here where you don't really have that on a lot of the other ones that you find. And then the last thing to cover here is going to be the price. Regular price is $299.99, so $300. You can use a coupon on Amazon right now. This will be $224.99, so $225, $75 off. Now I say this in all of my reviews, I do not like telling people what to do with their money. Here, if this is worth it to you, you are going to buy this. If it's not, then you'll look for something else. I think at the coupon price, this is a solid deal, especially when you're looking out at the landscape of portable monitors that are 4K resolution here with the 60 Hertz. But if you need other specs, then this isn't going to fit your needs. If you are a gamer and you're like, well, I just really need 1080p or 1440p, I need 120 Hertz, and those are the things that really matter to me, then you will look at other offerings. If you need a touchscreen, if you need the built-in battery, those other portable monitors are out there. A lot of times when it comes to these products, it's what do you specifically need? I guarantee you, you will find the product that meets those needs and then go with that one. Here, I think this is a solid option for anyone that has multiple use cases, like using this with your PC as a secondary monitor, using this with your laptop as a secondary monitor, using it with your phone or your tablet to consume content, using this with a console, using it with a handheld. There are just a lot of different situations where this can come in handy. So that's going to be it for this video. If you want to pick this up, I will have a link for this in the description. If you have any questions about this that I didn't answer in the video, let me know in the comment section. I will make sure to answer that for you there. And I want to thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button for me as it helps the channel out. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.